Good evening, friends. My name is Venkat Maroju. I'm from Boston. Back home, I come from a town called Jangan in Telangana district. First of all, let me thank you all for coming tonight's event and sharing your valuable, Saturday evening with all of us. And I also want to thank this Atlanta, Georgia team that has been really very enthusiastic and put up a very, excellent show. Probably this is going to be the biggest meeting in our, 10 plus cities tour. So really, a big applause to Atlanta team. Okay, friends, I think this is by any means an historic event that we are witnessing in America, okay, in the United States, especially for Telugu diaspora, Indian diaspora. This is unlike anything that happened. I've been in this country for 31 years. This has been a dream. I have been in public life somewhere or the other for last 20 years, and people like Raidas Mantina, actually Srini Kandela couldn't be here. This has been 20 plus years of dream that how do we build an alternate, a majority marginalized sections of India to be a force in United States as well as impact home our communities. Okay, so today, Roy said we formed this GNF 1 year back, and when RSP, Dr. RSP, wanted to join the politics, that was an opportunity we wanted to seize and created. Overnight, we had about 70 people, and today that grown into 300 people, and that is responsible for happening. Believe it or not, now we are 10 cities. Now we are at two more cities. We visited 12 cities in this tour within a short span of 1 year. So that is an amazing feat that really tells how much, people admire and basically support Dr. RSP. So this is this kind of, I've been involved in different organizations, never happened. So, friends, I think, as a NRIs, Indian diaspora sitting here, we are actually one of the richest minority in the United States, one of the most successful, minority. We are sought after engineers, doctors, technology entrepreneurs, and Fortune 50, CEOs. So that's what we talk about. So, but that's only a small part of India's story. The real India story, if you have to summarize in one thing, we fall 131 rank in a human development index in a countries of 180. 131. Just imagine where we stand. 30% of Indian population cannot feed themselves 2 meals a day. 30% of Indian population is illiterate. Every second illiterate woman is in Indian. Can you believe that? Every second illiterate woman in the world is Indian. So these are horrifying. We just celebrated 75 years of independence, right? And 75, some people can say it's a short time, some people can say long time. Our neighbor China also started this modernization journey only 75 years back, 1 year later. By 1970, they could achieve the basic living conditions for everybody. They had a good school and a healthcare center by 1970s in every village. And China now is boasts about 7, 8 times of our GDP and the growth and the prosperity and the egalitarian society that is built. We are nowhere close to it. So these are really depressing statistics, right? A country that produces top four richest billionaires, um, and a country that basically is capable of sending satellites, building nuclear arms, cannot educate all his children. We have a 30% illiteracy. A thriving city like Hyderabad, a global city, a IT, hub. You go to 40 kilometers to Mahbub Nagar, it has less than 60% of literacy rate. And a state like Telangana ranks fourth in GDP. We are climbing, but we have 20th rank in education if you look at it. So this is something really wrong. So there's something really wrong with our nation. and where the path that we took. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, everybody knows, while introducing the Constitution, he said in the Constituent Assembly, by the time we 26 January 1950, every citizen, every person in India is going to be equal, no matter his economic status, his caste, creed, religion, or gender, or any type of anybody in 18 years is politically is equal. That's an amazing thing, actually. It didn't happen in many countries. Even in a country like United States, when they got independence, only few people could vote. That's one amazing. But you also said, we are politically we are equal. We got political democracy, but we have a deep-rooted social economic inequalities. Unless we correct those inequalities using the means of constitution, our nation might lose our political democracy. We might put the very independence that we got at peril, in jeopardy. And friends, after 75 years of independence, the kind of extremism, intolerance, and the kind of hatred that we are seeing on one side, the other side, the inequalities are not being reduced. I mean, people like us cannot complain, right? I grew up in a very small town. My father was a first generation teacher, and I was blessed to, go to public schools in Jangam. But my father was a teacher. That's a privilege I had compared to the first generation people who worked so hard, including my father had such a. And then I went to government schools, colleges, and also I'm a proud beneficiary of reservation system, and I cannot complain. Today I'm here. But so many people cannot, say that. So many people are without opportunity. Here, did you ever find a one student that he wants to go to a college that cannot go to a college? No. Why can't we do that? A country with vast resources, country, with especially last 30 years, the kind of economic wealth creation that we have done. So, friends, we are, ruled by these parties, different political parties. But if you look at everybody, it's a, different bottle, but it looks the qualitatively similar people. The country, inherited the feudal system, and we call it democracy, but this whole political system, in some way or the other, is intact under this garb of democracy. The feudal forces are still ruling the country, right? So we need to at a crossroads that we need to really think and ponder. People sitting here, we have seen the world. We have in America is such a great egalitarian, evolved democracy. With all its limitations, still the one of the best societies in the world. Why can't we learn some things and see how we can make our motherland like that? Right? So this is the time to reflect and understand there is an alternate way of doing politics. There is an alternate way of generating new leadership. And so coming to Dr. RSP, I know him a little more than 15 years back, and he's a wonderful police officer. He served the nation with, risking his life, some of the adventures, if you had seen some of the riskiest posts he has done, and putting his family, aside. He, got accolades, police officer, went back, and the kind of, I mean, when he was at Harvard, we used to meet regularly. We used to talk about, you know, some of the social issues. And he said, okay, he wants to do something in education, but I never ever in my dreams imagined the kind of transformation, the kind of impact he had achieved, almost achieved, like impacted about 1 million students in a short span of 8 years with mere 1,000 crores budget. That's an just imagine if he becomes a chief minister and he has access to these 2.65 lakh crores of budget, what he can do it. Friends, I think we have a leader, we have an opportunity to take the nation and the country in a new trajectory. Okay? An IPS officer coming from very bottom of the society, a Harvard educated, has a proven leadership. I mean, you could find a lot of people, good intentions, good people, but you also have need the ability to move and make a change in the, and change the status quo. So that is what he has proven time and again in his service to the nation in the communities, the kind of Swaro movement he has created. It's amazing. You have seen some of the kids here. Not only that, if you go, every village has his footprints in places like Telangana and even Andhra Pradesh. So that's a leader. We have an opportunity to do things differently. So let's seize this opportunity and support Dr. RSP, and we participate in this movement. With that, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Jai Bhim, everyone.